Welcome back to the era of Marvel. So today there was a live stream from Marvel Midnight Suns, which showcased gameplay of Wolverine versus Sabretooth, along with many other features inside the game. So let's jump into it. So we got our first look at the actual Abbey. This is where you'll be spending all your time outside of battle. This is where you'll build your relationships with the other characters inside the game, of your character's customization, along with many other in-game quests that you're able to do in this area. What we're going to do is we're going to fast forward to the actual gameplay where you can see the in-game mechanics, the card system, player movement, and a lot of stuff that caught me by surprise that I was very excited about. Alright, so here's the actual gameplay. Now this is captured on PC, but you can see that the card system is present in the game. Each card is attached to an ability for the character, along with an added effect, which I think was pretty awesome. Another thing that caught my attention is that the players are not locked into that one spot. They can move around freely, and they can also use the environment as part of the moves that they use for their attacks, which is pretty sick. And you'll see in some cases where Wolverine is able to kick a box around into the enemy and have that count as damage, and also use it as a crowd control method. And even in some instances, you'll see where he was able to push the enemy away even further to allow him to create some distance between the opponent and his team, which would be super helpful if you have somebody who's low on HP, or if you're trying to execute another chain of attacks. Now on the bottom right hand side, you'll see this card plays. You'll see the number of moves you can do, the redraws, and the number of items you have. As soon as you select a card, the player will do an attack. So right here, Hunter smashes the enemy into that fire barrel and was able to do explosive damage upon impact. Blade is able to 1-KO the character, and notice he'll get the card that he used refunded back to his deck. On the bottom left hand side, you see the HP for your character. You have your objective on the top left. Pretty straightforward, right? It's not cluttered, a really clean HUD for you to use when you're playing the game. Now there are also some really cool cutscenes for the character's attacks. You can see Doctor Strange is going to pull off something amazing, and then the players together are comboing an attack as well. And what's good about it is you go right into your cutscene, and the cutscene would actually take you right into your next battle. It's pretty smooth. In my opinion, it was somewhat instant. No load screen in between. So this is where Sabretooth comes into play. I'll let you see the cutscene.
Why is it that for every one of these sites we take out, it seems like two more appear in their place?
Patience. Hydra certainly lives up to their name.
I've hunted an actual Hydra. That was easier.
Easier than this. I live up to my name, too. Hell of a price Crossbones put on your head, runt. Too bad he never said it had to stay attached to your body. Well, too bad for you.
Big words for a dead man. You got one thing right today, Sabretooth. Heads are definitely about to roll.
Oh, look. Another mangy stray.
You smell wrong.
Compared to him?
Good point.
Now I get to kill two runts with one claw. Maybe I should be paying Hydra.
Right into your next battle. This time you gotta fight Sabretooth. Now each villain has their own unique abilities as well, which makes those boss fights a little bit tougher and requires more strategy. So it's not gonna be your standard enemy. Each character is gonna be a tough one. So for example, Sabretooth has something called Frenzy, in which once you attack him, he's more than likely to counterattack with a very powerful move. Now check out Wolverine, how he's able to move around the map, right? You saw he was able to do that. That's the Frenzy attack that I was talking about. Does massive damage to your team. Now the players also have abilities as well. Wolverine has taunt, which allows him to take damage from the enemies on the field, which could be really helpful if you have someone who's low in HP. Again, I mentioned that because that's an important part of the game. So with that ability in mind, you can build Wolverine to maybe have more HP or to do more counterattack damage. As you can see right there, he was able to do a KO streak by hitting the environmental item in front of him to do more damage to the character, and it also pushed Sabretooth back, which I thought was pretty cool. So now Wolverine maneuvered behind the light pole and was able to use that as well for additional damage, and he was able to use the base to do more damage as well. So again, more environmental effects. I think that's a nice addition to the game. But Sabretooth is no joke because he's able to use the frenzy once again. So you got to keep that in mind when chaining your attacks together or determining who's going to attack first. Also notice Wolverine has his own cards available to him. He's going to do a special move right now based off the card you chose. Now the gameplay in this showcase was a little bit slower, right? Because they did take their time explaining everything thoroughly and providing every detail possible, and providing as many details as possible. So definitely go back and watch it if you do want to get a more in-depth breakdown. I'm skipping through a lot of parts of the video, and I'm also paraphrasing from what I remember from watching it. But these are the things that stood out to me and caught my attention. So again, Wolverine's positioning himself to use the environment for more damage. And this time around, he actually jumped off and was able to do a flying attack, which I thought was really amazing. And there goes a nice barrage attack. So those are the things that stood out to me inside of this showcase. Here's another cutscene.
Can't heal. Have to keep going.
Now this is something they did mention as well. Lilith is a very, very strong villain. And what makes her so scary and such a powerhouse is the fact that she can control enemies with the simple touch of her hand. And you'll see it right here. Very eerie looking character, I gotta admit.
You'll do.
That's crazy. So there you have it. That was the showcase. I'm going to link the full video in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. I definitely recommend it because, again, they explained a whole lot more than I did in this video. I just wanted to highlight what stood out to me and what caught my interest. And there's going to be more breakdowns going forward. And as they do appear, I will release them on the channel. All right. So again, I encourage you to subscribe, like the video, and share with anybody who's interested in checking out more gameplay for Marvel Midnight Suns. I'll catch everyone in the next one. Take care.